Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. Howdy, howdy, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sharkinbear. Welcome to the channel where today we're playing some more Soulstone Survivors. This is more of a spotlight series that I started again recently after the winter update that came out back in the month of December. It's been a couple of weeks since it came out, and I am more or less going over the new skills and new weapons that every class got individually. And the last episode we covered the Legionnaire and the Jupiter Spear, which gave you access to the summon infantry as well as Jupiter Spear. And I want to believe there's also a AoE related spear skill, kind of like the arrow. Oh god, I can't remember what the arrow skill is called. Anyways, while I look for the name of that so I don't feel really stupid right at the moment, let's see, where's that? It's kind of like, here we are, Storm of Arrows. It's basically a Storm of Arrows, but with spears instead. So that being said, after Legionnaire, that was a showcase for that one. We're now going to work on the showcase for the Beastmaster. So the Beastmaster's secondary weapon is the Nature's Fury. In Nature's Fury, we got two new skills with the Druid at the December update. The first one is Wild Strike, strikes enemies in front of you dealing 300 damage and an extra 20% damage per summon unit you control. The other skill that you got access to, let's see if we can actually hear it. Here it is. Craft the Nature's Fury weapon to unlock it. Swamp Boar. Summon two Swamp Boars to fight for you that apply Rot when they attack. A maximum number of 6 units can be active at any time. Rot deals 300 damage over 15 seconds. If the target dies, any remaining rot will spread to a nearby enemy. So it's kind of like a disease sort of thing. So we're going to see how much of this rot we can add up. I might get a couple of Swamp Boars. I'm going to try to get up a couple of the Nature's Fury skill itself, the Wild Strike. So we're going to check that one out. This is not a optimal sort of build playthrough. This is more me playing around with the character and just showcasing these two skills. Hopefully we can manage to get a build for that one. We are going to be playing on Curse 4, just so that way we're not strained to get any specific playstyle. I will say that I have actually completed a tier 7 run with the Beastmaster. I find it actually fairly easy once you get all the summons. Mostly the tigers. The tigers are amazing. They're still awesome. My rune choices over here are singular focus because I always tend to use multiple stacks of the same skills. Dash mastery, I find this to be pretty imperative because that extra dash distance is phenomenal. And we're going to go reroll mastery as well, but you're more than happy to do other things. Other things I could suggest would probably be commanding presence. Honestly, if you were to do like a summoner build and worry about the summoning things, because commanding presence is pretty awesome. Let's see, we could also probably go for focus fire would be pretty good. Purity, if we're going just for a rot based build, and weapon expert as all, which weapon expert would be actually something I equipped once I get the 10th rune unlocked, which we're still working on. So that being said, let's go ahead and get the match started. If you like the content, you want to see more of it, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Really helps me out. Let's go ahead and do the dungeons, right? Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have tier 4, because I'm not looking to just have my butt absolutely handed to me unprepared trying to do a showcase build. So we're at Cursed Intensity 25, so that is our Cursed tier 4. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I don't think we're gonna make the time just messing with this, but let's see how close, let's see how fast we can actually clear this. As far as like getting, if we can get it sub 13 minutes, just so we can have access to endless mode. I don't intend to do the endless mode, but I want to just see how good the summoner build is, and so that way you guys can tell how good it is with just using Swamp Boar and Nature's Fury. So make sure we collect our XP. As always, if you are new to the game and you're looking at how to beat the timed runs of this game, one thing that I always suggest, and most of the community already knows, is that when you're fighting enemies, you always want to make sure you try to get to walls and or corners. It doesn't matter which corner or which wall. If you have a preferred corner, preferred wall, super cool. I named mine Fred and Duke. This is Fred over here on the left, this is Duke at the bottom. And we're just going to clear through these enemies right here. And the reason why you go towards the walls is because the walls will actually make enemies spawn just a little bit quicker, a little bit more than you normally would. As you can tell right here, we're already being swamped by a whole bunch of guys. they're not big fans of Fred and Duke. They hate it, so they come over here to break up the cool dance party we have going on. They really don't like me right now. I'm just trying to get this. And as you can tell right now, we're not doing a lot of damage with Nature's Fury because, again, we don't have any summons right now. So this is just like the base damage of Nature's Fury. Let's go ahead and get some summoning going on. I am going to go ahead and do Relentless. And this is awful. We have absolutely no summon options, so we'll go ahead and reroll. I don't want another Wild Strike right now. War Tiger is actually pretty good. We're going to go ahead and pick it up because I don't want to go through all my rerolls right now. And we'll go ahead and use multicast. One thing I will say is that you don't want to do a lot of cast intensity with this skill. And the reason for that... Oh, look at those tigers. They're tearing through it. They're tearing through them. Oh, fresh meat. Meat's back on the menu, boys. Look how fast those enemies go down. That's just tigers. Tigers are just awesome. Anyways, the reason why you don't want a lot of cast intensity, if you think about these classes, is cast intensity basically resummons your summons. So if your summons are raking faces with their claws or spreading mad disease everywhere, unfortunately, the thing is you're just constantly disrupting your own summons. So while cast intensity is nice maybe because you want to get your summons back on their feet if they die too fast, you don't want to overboard it because you get too much cast intensity, your summons don't get the time to do the things that they need to do. Alright, so we're at 10 points already. Let's go see what we can get here. I want to try to see if I can find nothing. We'll take Bestial Wrath. Frailty. I like Frailty. Multicast. Merciless. I'm gonna go with Poison Cloud. We'll stick with like a nature theme for our character here. We will go do Magnetic, a War Tiger. Alright, so right now we're a War Tiger build. Not ideal, because that's not what we're trying to showcase here, but hopefully as we go we'll get more instances of the Swamp Boar. These summons, by the way, will tear through these lords, and they're doing a terrific job right now, FYI. They've already got Alexis, the Chaos Bringer, down to half health, and we've really contributed nothing to this fight. Let's see if we can get in a swing of Nature's Fury somewhere. He's down. Let's see if we can get Kythias. This is weird for me because I'm actually saying their names, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm just like Lightning Lady who doesn't like company. Alright, she's down with almost absolutely zero effort. So if you want to know the effect of tigers, it's pretty much tigers in real life. They don't want to be your friend. Or at least not for the Chaos Lords. Alright, let's try to cycle through these abilities. We will go through Magnetic. Increased quantity tiger amount. We don't want tigers. And I don't want to endorse tigers right now, even though they are super cool. Multicast. We'll get another thing of Relentless. I know what I said. Oh, Jesus. I'll go with Merciless, Agile. So still no Swamp Boar, unfortunately, and we're already down 2 Lords. But that's okay, we have 8 other opportunities to get our Tigers. Or, sorry, Swamp Boars. We need to get closer to the wall again, so that way we keep with our cool dance party with Fred and Duke. Too far away from home. I was taking out the mortar fire. Hello, Fred. Hello, Duke. Alright. Let's see. There we go. There. Take down this spellcaster, please. Looks like we have another mortar we need to worry about. We need to abandon our dance party for just a minute to break up the just mad disrespect going on over there. Still nothing. Frailty, Behemoth, Expansive. I imagine Expansive does like AoE for their attacks. I'm actually gonna like banish some stuff. I don't do that enough. Increase damage modifier of the wild strike skill by an additional 45%. You know what? I'll do that. I'll do that. Let's see. We will. I'm gonna do it again. And poison. All right, let's go break down that mortar over there that's firing on our enemies or our allies and me. As we make our way over there, we will, of course, clear up any elites along the way. War Tigers should be coming up off cooldown, and then, yeah, there they go. Did all the work for us. Thanks, bud. We got 2 more lords up. Let's see. Still nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and swap out Shrapnel Bomb. Multicast. I'll do that one. It's do Wild Strike. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, that'll be fine. Subdue's not a bad skill to have. It's really not going our way right now, is it? This game really doesn't want me to showcase the one thing I'm trying to showcase in this video. Alright, there is Colomuth, or whatever his name is. And now we're working on Alfred. He's actually one of the few lords I do know the name of constantly. Alright, knee is down as well. We can go collect all this XP, and then we're going to head down to our corners. Let's see what we can get here. Faithful Strikes. I'm going to do another one of Faithful Strikes, actually. Swamp Boar, there we go. And we're going to go ahead and replace one of our instances of War Tiger here, just so we can showcase this one. Tigers have done their job. I'm going to take some burn there. Yeah, we'll do that. Nothing here. Oh, absolutely. Powerful Strikes. That's good. Multicast. And Merciless. We honestly need to work on more of a crit chance for our characters, but this will work for now. So there goes our Swamp Boar. And they will do work. They're basically spreading a pestilence across the entire screen. Whenever they kill an enemy, they're passing on their negative status effects to the nearby enemies, and they're just tearing through stuff. Let's see, what else we got? Nope. Multicast? Absolutely. And that's just to make sure that we can fly more than the instance of the... I think you summon 2 Swamp Boars at a time, and Multicast will make sure that you are getting more than just your 2 boars up front. Looks like we have an instance of 4 of them going. And they are just cleaning house right now. You know how pigs and boars be. They eat the dead bodies and everything. They keep the place clean, fastidious. We'll do some more. Oh, look, there we go. Bye-bye, tigers. And, let's see. Let's banish Leviathan. I'm never really a big fan of that one. And we're not really going to worry about the poison, but we will take some more multicast. There we go. There's all our boars. Let's see how fast they can take out Tiagro and Alexi here. They're already working on it. Oh, gotta make sure we don't get in the way of that beam over there from Tiagro. I never really understood the theme around him. He sends out giant saw blade and things of lightning. So Alexi is going down. Oh, I forgot that is a frisbee, and it's like a frisbee boomerang that comes back. Let's sit here and help our boar friends. Oh yeah, they're doing what needs to be done. And see, this is my favorite part, is that we can actually like sit here in the back line, and these lords aren't going to care about us most of the time. Let's go ahead and take out these other 4 mortar turrets. I remember the first time I started dealing with these turrets, they were very cumbersome to deal with, and they were responsible for a lot of my deaths. But with summon builds, this sort of stuff comes, you know, is easily like taken care of. If we get another swamp boar, I'm gonna be all game for replacing our poison with that. There's one down. Let's make our way over to the next one. I'm gonna do some resilience. Let's see, agile. We could definitely move strong more. I'll get some more health. Unit 7. Frailty. Our boars are tanky enough. They're boars. They got thick hides. Alright, so here's our next one. Our boar should be here any minute to help us. There he goes. Bestial Wrath. Look at them. They're so bestial. And we're just dancing around the best we can. There's that one down. Looks like there's another turret or mortar, yeah, right here. Let the piggies do their job. There they go. Oh yeah. There goes that mortar down, and now we're back to, we're almost to our last wave of lords after this one. I am taking extra damage here, just because I'm not dodging as much as I would usually do. Alright, here is Colmeth, and I really hate that skill. Probably the one skill that annoys me more than anything else, because it does track you, so you do have to constantly move around him. You can't be all smacky. And you definitely want to be all smacky with this build. We're going to pick up some lethality. Expansive, magnetic. I was really hoping maybe we could get like a 3rd dose of Swamp Boar. Because as much as these things are spreading disease, lords haven't learned better than to get inoculated against swamp boar disease. There we go. Come on, do your work, piggies. There you go. There he goes. He's not worried about us anymore. He realizes the pigs are the real threat. He's down. Fantastic. And work on Colmeth. Now, like most summon builds in this game, you do have to remember there is some slight RNG when it comes to what targets the piggies are, attacking. There are ways to kind of facilitate with certain builds, and I say this more or less specifically for the Necromancer, that you can actually make them target specific units. That being said, for the most part, you're just at the whim of the AI of your piggy mates. Alright, so that's Colmeth down. We now have 2 lords left. We're about 300 kills away from the next lord. We'll do a damage increase, even though we're not really going for a cloud build. Multicast, legendary. There we go. That's a good one. We'll make sure that we take care of this turret right here. I'm going to work at the one to the top. Let's see. Nothing here. Nothing here. I mean, I know I had War Tigers, but again, not a War Tiger build. I'm trying to stay true to the cause. We're just dancing around. I'll work our way over here to the right where there's another mortar firing at us. And you can see the rot spreading up on these enemies up here as we hit them. Let's see. Powerful strikes. It doesn't look like we have any more turrets, so we're going to try to find our way back to a corner until one spawns again. Being sure to pick up any loose ore and minerals that come from crushing the rocks. It doesn't look like we're going to make time for the endless run. But again, this is really kind of up to RNG. We didn't get the skills we wanted, but it's a-okay. As you can see, this is a pretty safe build. Any summoner build in this game is a fairly safe build. I would heavily suggest that if you're trying to clear times, or if you're trying to clear bosses and stuff like that, unless you're trying to go for an endless build, I would stay away from most of the summoner builds. The reason for that is that you want to focus on kiting enemies, but you want them to follow you so you can deal your damage, get out, and then go back in. Bob and weave, basically. However, the true downside to summoning is that you can't really do the bob and weave if the enemies aren't interested in you at all. So it really kind of is kind of like a negative, like a downside to trying to clear out the lords. If you're just trying to complete the different tiers of difficulty, that's understandable. But yeah, summoner builds are they're kind of a trap. The only one I can suggest heavily right up front for a summoner build, even if you're trying to push tier 7 and it's reliable, would actually be the necromancer. Using archers and wizards, because archers and wizards will actually follow you like in a semicircle, and they will target the direction you are facing. They don't run away like your soldiers or your golems or your wolves, boars, and moose, or sorry, not wolves, tigers. So that being said, yeah, those are the tips I can give as far as summoning goes. Super safe playstyle, but not really the endless run content pushing things. You can probably make it work for you, but again, entirely RNG. And I'm gonna let those guys do their thing over there. I don't really necessarily like them in this corner, because we're at the whim of maybe the lightning beam that follows us, and fire guy can do flamethrower, and this guy can do his little lightning beam. But luckily for us, our swamp boar took most of that aggro from that. Diagro is going down here any moment now. We're not really doing a lot of work with our Nature's Fury. We're not able to get in close, and that's going to be a hard thing to do even at later stages of the game, in like harder difficulties, because you're going to be bob and weaving so much, you're never really going to be able to physically get in. You could also, like, you know, make things better with AoE increases or damage radius increases, that sort of thing. Nope, still nothing. Okay. Oh no, we're getting bounced around a lot. There is some risky times if you want to try to get in and do melee stuff like I am right now. You're going to be overlapped by red circles and red floors, and floor is lava sort of scenarios. But for the most part, yeah, we're going to just stand right here, clear out the last of the lords, and that is a tier 4 run with just the swamp boars for the most part. It looks like we have about 11 swamp boars out right there. There are little things that they could do in this game to make it better. Overall, I feel like some of the RNG that can be done with summoning could be enhanced just a little bit, maybe give some way to target enemies specifically, but it is what it is. As you can tell right now, we did about 13 million damage with our Wild Strikes and about 16 to 17 million with our Swamp Boars. So the Swamp Boars almost didn't do, or basically almost did as much as my one instance of Wild Strike. Although again, Wild Strike does benefit off the number of summons you had, and we had Wild Strike a majority of the time, whereas Swamp Boars, I would say we probably didn't get our first Swamp Boar until halfway through that run. So if RNG had been on our side, we could have been more or less a little bit more lucky as far as getting some more damage output. We could get another instance of Swamp Boar. That was definitely possible. So we'll head up back to the menu, and that is going to be it for the Beastmaster and the Nature's Fury. Again, that is more of a showcase of the skills that you got with the winter update when they added the new weapon from there. I'll be doing one for the other classes as well. I'm sorry if I'm doing a little bit out of order. I'm mostly doing them because these are the ones that I absolutely loved playing from the update. The next one's coming, obviously the Paladin, but the Paladin was already strong at the start. He got a Harbinger of Justice, Hammer of Justice. The Chaos Walker got Seeking Chaos with his Artifact of Corruption. And then we also have the Necromancer, who came with Unholy Bolt, and the Death Knight, Great Sword of Doom. The Assassin we will probably cover. It's not great. I'll just go ahead and say that. Is it fun? Oh, absolutely. It is super fun. They actually gave you ways to do backstab damage, even when you're not in the back of an enemy, because that's almost impossible to do unless you're doing like a summoner type build. And then with the Elementalist, they did the Severe Cold, mostly focusing on frost skills. I feel like there's a lot that could be warranted by doing more frost skills, but we'll see what it builds into, because of course the game is still in early access. So that being said, if you like the content, you want to see more of it, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, as well as me telling you there's also a description in the channel of this video. If you want to come hang out with me in my Discord, drop a meme, game suggestions, or a build that you might want to see in the future, or maybe ask a question if you're having some issues running with Soulstone Survivor. That being said, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.